All right, what's up, guys? This is Carter Thomas with Bluecloud TV, episode 3, I think. All right, good. It's going, or episode 4, I guess, Thursday. Hope you're all doing great. Make sure you go check out all the episodes at bluecloudsolutions.com/TV. You'll see a list of all the episodes in case you missed one and want to go back. You can also see all of these by going to YouTube and searching for Bluecloud Solutions on YouTube and subscribing. You'll get immediate alerts, or on Facebook at facebook.com/Bluecloud Solutions. So today we're going to do a quick rundown. It seemed like the 10-minute mark was probably the sweet spot. So I'm going to try to keep it right around there and just talk about a handful of different topics that I'm seeing and some things that may be helpful for you guys. Okay, opening up the charts. I'm using App Annie, honestly, because it's real time. Apptopia is great, and I think I will go back to Apptopia for a few things, but I want to be able to show you guys what's happening today, not necessarily what happened yesterday, because in this game, a day can make a big difference. What's interesting is our Saraha app is back, and look at this. It looks like they might have taken it off the store for a day and then put it back on the store. I don't know, because yesterday you guys may have seen it wasn't there, and now it's back. So really interesting. If you're interested in see what's going on with that, go check out episode number 2. I did a bit of a deep dive in that. I honestly can't figure out, or I don't think that there's any external marketing based on the history. I think that this is just a great app that has a great network effect for a very, very good audience of people. And we're going to talk about niches in a little bit here. So go check it out. It's in Arabic, but I think that there's an English version you can check out. Really, really cool, really interesting. Also really important to be able to check out apps like this because it's so powerful to show what having a network effect can do, right? And once you hit that critical mass of people, if you've got that network effect dialed in, you can have a huge impact. Okay, so you obviously bumped everything else down, which is pretty wild to see. Looking through the free chart, I don't see anything too crazy. I'm going to look into Golf Clash probably tonight, and then I'll do a video on that tomorrow for you guys. Hooked is also a really interesting app that I want to dive into probably next week, all about how they did that. My friend was one of the early investors in that company down in LA. So they've got a really cool business model and also a really cool product. But I don't see anything else here. Top 50 for sure. Brain training is interesting. I like that. I think that that's an interesting category, right? It's not really fitness. It's not really education. It's kind of like, maybe it's kind of like whatever headspace would be, meditation. So I guess maybe health, right? I guess it's probably the best category for it. Looking over the paid categories, looking to this again, not really seeing a whole lot. And then same over on the top grossing. Let's just flip over to a different category. Yesterday we looked at health and fitness. I'm going to look at something, productivity. I don't really spend a lot of time looking at productivity apps. I think it's a hard category to win because oftentimes productivity apps are heavily funded, have very strong teams. So it's not quite the same as it used to be where you could put up any sort of random productivity app. You really got to be able to compete with the Evernotes and the Gmails of the world. Free apps, obviously, I always try to filter out all the branded apps. What always interests me, to be perfectly honest, is apps like this, Speak and Translate, right? I know Apollon, those guys are based over in Belarus. Great guys, good team. Worked with them a little bit back in the day. I'm always interested in how apps like this, Speak and Translate, how they compete with Google, right? Google just does this automatically. So why is it that Apollon is able to not only get it to the top, but why do they even choose that to begin with? I can tell you it's because, one, they have a massive cross-promotion network. They're all over these categories, like alarm clocks, weather apps, some games, but mostly these kind of simple productivity apps. They build really great products, but they just have huge cross-promo traffic on there. That's how they can compete. So if you see an app like this that looks simple and maybe something that Google could do, but these guys are still at the top, realize that there's they typically have some other hedge. Apple-on's hedge, I can tell you, is that they got a massive network of people, or they got, huge app. I think they were like top 10 most downloaded developers like last year or something like that. Nothing else too crazy without getting into all the details of this, but that's interesting. Stay focused. Maybe I'll click on that. It's a number one paid app, right? This is, to me, a really good example of, without seeing the app itself, it's called Forest, but they just highlight the benefits. The whole thing is about staying focused as opposed to getting more work done or whatever else. Staying focused and that's a big deal. I think that's really good marketing. So they built this whole thing around this idea of staying focused. Just looking, they're not talking about the features and how much good, all these, bells and whistles. It's just like this app is going to help you stay focused. That's powerful. This would be a cool one to do a deep dive on. I'll make sure I write that one down. Two other things. One great article that this guy, Mikhail, he writes these blog posts that are killer. If you're interested in how products, specifically games, build, just go massive, right? So this one made $100 million, and it shows how they build out the core loops, how they create the stories, how they build the characters, and they really get into the depth. And he's written a lot of posts about this, but every one of them is just amazing. He used to work at Supercell. That's how he knows how to do this stuff. This is really cutting edge. I mean, back at Kiwi, we used to try to figure this stuff out, and they kind of knew it, but what the real big evolution has been this, the story and progression over the last 2 years. And what will continue to be the big differentiator in games, I think, is the story that you can write. I can tell you that companies like Pocket Gems in San Francisco, their biggest, the hardest hires and also the biggest impact on their games right now are good writers, people who can write really good stories and develop really good storylines with characters. So that's something to think about too as you're building, if you're building a game or even if you're building an app. What story are you telling? Are you creating characters? Are you bringing people on a journey? That's powerful in the core loop as you build it up, and that's what really gets people hooked and excited. So I'll put this link in the show notes. You can go check it out. Third thing I want to talk about today, just keep this light, riches in the niches. Someone in Facebook group posted about how niche marketing really helped their performance on Facebook ads, but it wasn't really translating into a lot of money, which, that's one data point. And I think that it's really important to realize that you're going to get better results, especially on marketing, when you cater to more specific audiences, right? The famous example that I always use with the app I built, you could either cater to dog owners, which is what I used to do at my startup, which was all about dogs. We used to try to cater to all dog owners, or you can cater to specific dog breeds, right? When you go to the niche, the marketing numbers get much, much better, right? Because they connect on a much more emotional level. To get the riches, however, you need to deliver more specific solutions to the niches, right? So even if your marketing is more niche marketing, even if you put in new images or get better targeting and your niche marketing is better, for the money to come through, you actually need to provide a niche solution. And I think that a lot of people forget that, right? It's scary to think that you're going to build a product for a small audience of people, but realize that that's where the money is. The lifetime value goes up, not necessarily because you're getting cheaper traffic or you're getting better marketing results, but because you're delivering a niche product, right? So there's two parts to the riches in the niches sequence, right? One, the marketing, you're gonna get better, more detailed, and you will get better results when you do that. But you also have to deliver on that promise of the niche marketing. You target specific people, you got to give them a specific solution. And if you do, you can reap the rewards of getting a higher lifetime value, more money, all that good stuff. So I think that that's just a really powerful, really important point to make, especially in the app business, because if you don't do that, you often miss out on enormous amounts of money because it's really scary, for lack of a better word. It's scary to build a whole product for a very seemingly small amount of people and not trust that they're going to spend a lot of money because it is so custom tailored to them. Cool. Thanks, guys, for watching. Make sure you go to YouTube and subscribe to the channel. Click that little bell, because that way you'll get notified. And like this if you're on Facebook. Let me know what you think about this. Write a review on the podcast if you can. And I'm looking forward to talking to you guys tomorrow. All right, peace out.